joined the class newly after me taking the attendance?
Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am.
Sujit.
Ma'am,
Okay,
yes, ma'am.
just you alone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Like,
Mohammed Nishadin, ma'am.
okay, 1 minute, 1 minute. I'll just open it up again. Wait. Uh, Sujit, Sujit, 1 minute. Yeah. Sujit, I am asked. Nishardin, okay. Vishnu, Vishnu, you also have joined late. Is it? Vishnu Lalit, you're there or not? Vishnu Lalit. Okay, I'll just read out the names of the students who are absent. Okay, kindly check now. Kindly check. Students who are absent, I'm reading their names now. Arifa Banu, Arshad Meera, Arshini, Latika, Sana R, Saravanan J, Shweta R, Vignesh S, Asha and Vinod. So there are 10 students present and 10 students absent. Is it correct? Fine. So Zakia ma'am will be presenting you on thesis. So please do listen to that and make maximum use of it and try to think about the presentation what ma'am is taking. Just you know, uh, please lend your ears. Don't switch on the PPT and leave the session. We want you all to listen to the session till the end. Thank you.
One second, ma'am. Good evening, class. Please let me know you're all there.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to take a small kind of section on how you attack a master's thesis. We'll be talking about how a master's thesis differs from your undergraduate thesis and what you actually will be doing, what is expected from you. Okay. And as I'm going on, whatever questions you have, can you please type them in the chat section? After I'm done, I will address your questions. Okay. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. First, so before we get started, any idea on how your master's thesis differs from your undergraduate thesis? Anybody? No one? You're trying to tell me that so far, whatever you're working on, you have just been following the same thing that you have been doing for your UG? You know, if you all keep quiet like this, I cannot tell if you are even there in the call or not.
The scale will differ, ma'am, for UG and PG, and the detail level depth, whatever the details that we are working on. And of course, in comparison, practically, we might have more knowledge in masters, so that will be expected in our submissions. Practically, how it is.
Okay, that's very true. Your detail level is high. Okay, what else? Anybody else? Okay, we'll go one by one, step by step on exactly what is different. In your UG thesis, you will be working on a general basis of architecture. You are not going to select one particular discipline and you do in depth of thesis into that. For your PG, what you will be doing is you will be working completely on your discipline only, whatever you're majoring in. So your major is interior architecture, so you'll be focusing only on interiors. You will not be touching the outside the architectural part, that is your architecture, the structural columns, the layout of the building, the outside the landscape site, all that you will not be doing. Secondly, how your thesis differs for your PG is you will be focusing only on your thrust area. You will be giving maximum attention only to your thrust area. So whatever you will be working on will have to somehow collaborate with your thrust area, your design. Supposing you're choosing a college design, and in that your thrust area falls as sensory architecture, then what you will be doing is for each single space, you will be working only on the sensory theme, and you will be giving out complete details of how the construction part happens, how the effect, how the comfort factor is determined, how the user, what the users, how do you put it? And suggestion how exactly to put this part. Your users will also be taking a major. Mm, how do I explain that, ma'am? The way
So, ma'am is trying to say that how a design differs for each user group. So, might be if you are having a children's play area, the anthropometry, the design factor, and the material specification differs for a child compared to a cafeteria where the user group is going to be an adult. Whereas when you go, you have to go, if you are seeing the interiors of a washroom, it is being used by all these three groups, including senior citizen and an handicapped person. So, whereas the interior specification like handrail has to be included in spaces like that. So, ma'am is trying to explain that how a interior space differs for the group of users whom it has been designed for, right? Okay. People, please respond. We don't really understand whether you are there in the call or not.
Yes, ma'am. We are clear, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
We are listening, ma'am.
Ma'am, audio is not there, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Hello, ma'am.
It was on. Hello? Was the whole section there or not?
Yes, ma'am. We are there, ma'am. We are
So
not able
far?
to hear anything.
Yes, ma'am,
So
your
far,
voice
nothing
is
was
not
heard.
audible. No,
Nothing
ma'am.
was heard. Ma'am, when I was
No,
taking
ma'am.
before you heard. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, should I start from beginning again?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Let's start with the first outline of what your thesis is. First thing is identifying your thesis. You decide on what exactly your thesis is. Second is you'll be deciding on a focus, that is your thrust area. Third is searching and researching. By now, actually, you should have completed these first three parts. Fourth is doing your main work, doing your main thesis. Fifth will be presenting and reviewing. I mean, presenting for your reviewing. That is how you will be presenting for your reviews, what will be expected from you for the reviews. And the final part is your conclusion. Okay, we'll talk about identifying your thesis. So you need to figure out exactly what your goal is. You need to figure out whether you want to use your thesis for your practicing or whether you want to use this as a research basis for your further studies. If you intend to go for your professional practice, if you are not planning for a future study, what will happen is your thesis will focus mostly on your detailings, constructional detailings, how it will affect the rest of your design, how it will affect your comfort factor, how the users are involved. Now, if you are planning to use uh, the thesis for research purpose instead, what will happen is when you go for apply for a research, when you're applying for your PhD, they will first ask you for what you have done for your master's thesis, and they will see if it relates to your interest in your research. If you wish to continue this into your PhD, then it will be much easier for you if you can do the base work now. And if you're not interested in, if you're interested in doing a PhD, but you don't want to use the same topic, then what will happen is you'll at least have to convey that you are able to do a research on your own. So all these you'll have to keep in mind when you decide on what you're going to do itself. Second is your type of thesis, qualitative, quantitative, and creative. Okay, when you do a qualitative thesis, it will deal mainly with why. When you do a quantitative, it will deal mainly with how or what. See, qualitative no will mostly address the factors of what is happening, why it is happening, and then you will be addressing what can be done to make it better. In a quantitative thesis, you will be dealing with density. How much is happening? What are the factors that is considered for that kind of that many? How you what do you say? How you weigh, how how you count that factor? Okay, how you will be counting on how many factors are affecting. All that will be falling in that. And then even the scale of your design will fall under quantitative, whether you are designing for 1,000 people, whether you're designing for 5,000, that kind of a quantity will all fall under your quantitative factor. And the third one is your creative. This is where you come up with innovative solutions, where you're designing something new, where you're designing something unique, whether your topic is something that's not been covered before and you want to create your own, all that will be creative. So based on what you people have for your topics so far, most of it falls under either qualitative or creative. You have to decide which is the main factor for you, which one you want to concentrate on, whether you want to concentrate on the quality or whether you want to concentrate on the creativity. Okay, and then come with just the points you need to think about. Your thesis is like you cannot just blindly start your thesis. You have to first figure out what your goal is. Once you figure out what your goal is, then it will make it easier for you to ignore what you do not want to do. In your focus, when you have to narrow down your focus, no. In those cases, if it is not your goal, you can blindly leave that and do the part which only focuses on, sorry, which covers up your goal, which concentrates on your goal. Okay, and another thing is, see, we expect you to work, but that does not mean that we expect you to spend all your time only on this. Then again, because of that, please do not leave off your thesis alone. Second, and then we'll talk about the second part, deciding on a focus. This, again, you would have already finished all this in your synopsis, but I'll address it once more. You can add them if you want. So yeah, you will be forming an initial question. That is how you will first decide on what your thrust area is. You form either a hypothesis or a focus area. So what you can do is you can figure out what your hypothesis is. You will decide whether you are having a kind of idea in mind. You have an idea in mind, and you want to address that particular factor. Now, what you will be talking about is whether it is a hypothetical situation or whether it is a uh, situation that can be addressed in reality. If you're going for a hypothesis, your thesis can also be a positive or negative thesis also. See, in our negative thesis, no, you don't need to worry about having your the negative when if your answer ends up negative for a hypothesis, no, you won't need to worry because you will be still proving that such a situation is not possible. And second is identifying your focus area. That is what your thrust area and your special study is. Most of you have already given your thrust areas and special study. For those who have not given your thrust area or those who are still not clear on it, see, what you do is first sit and think exactly what you want to do, what you want to focus on. If you're choosing a school design, exactly what is making you choose the school design? And then when you think about a school design, what is the thing that comes to your head first? Think about that. That will become your main focus. And if you're linking that with your dissertation, that again will help you with the that will help you to narrow down your focus. If you are following your dissertation, then you will already have a thrust area, you will already have a special study. But you need not do the whole thing. If you want to focus on only a small part of that into your design, you can. If you want to cover up every single thing from that aspect, that also you can do. But you will have to make sure that you are focusing on everything equally. If you're choosing different categories, each of those categories must be given equal importance. And then next will be talk to your guide. I will stress on this one point over and over and over again. Talk to your guide, they will help you. If you explain your ideas, they will be able to guide you. They will only then they will know what you have in mind. Okay, if nobody is going to tell you not to follow this particular path, or nobody is going to tell you that this won't happen. We will only tell you how it can be done. We will pose questions on why it is why we think it's not possible. You that way you will come up with a solution for it. So please keep talking to your guide, keep them informed about what you're doing, and that same way you can also ask for their help. This is one another thing I will say. Please don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't worry about the marks. There are certain of you who think that if you go ask for your guide for help, it would affect your marking basis. See, the thesis is not done for marks. The thesis is done for learning. It is based for pure, the pure purpose behind the thesis is for us to know whether you can do it on your own or not. But that does again it doesn't mean that we will not help you at all. We will every single stage we will. But for just for the sake of that, don't rely completely on your guides. You can ask for help even from your seniors, your juniors. Your juniors can help you conduct your surveys, or you can look into previous what do you call it? Previous thesis, previous conducted dissertation. All this will help you in getting what you need. See, one more thing is you don't need to ask only your same group, or you don't have to ask completely or on the same field. You can even so ask people from outside your field on the, how do you say? See, supposing taking the school design itself for an example, you don't need to go ask an architect itself on how you design. You can go ask a student also on what they expect out of the design. Okay, that is like you're talking to your targeted user group. And then moving on to your searching and researching, this is the I believe all of you are working on this right now. The two main factors you will be working on is your journals, thesis, dissertations, conference papers, all these are there to help you. Along, when you look into those itself, you'll be able to find a research gap. See, this research gap will help you with figuring out what has been done before, what needs to be done further. Certain parts of the research will like take A, B, C. So sometimes it will be like A will be there, C will be there, B will not be there. How you go from A to C will not be there. So that also can become a part of your thesis. So that kind of a research gap is really important. See if you're able to find that research gap. See if you're able to address that research gap in your thesis. Okay, that is something like. mm your contribution to this field. Okay, and then you get a technical knowledge. You talk to this is what I was telling you. You talk to your experts, or you talk to not just architects, but you even talk to the people outside the same field. So you get your targeted user group. Then you need not only talk only to the students to have using the same school design as an example. The students can probably give you on what they expect, but then you can even ask the parents. The parents can also tell you what they think the students should get. So all these second opinions will give you a kind of out of box thinking ideas. Okay, and then pitfalls, you really need to watch out for these pitfalls. Um, what will happen is when you're doing your research, you will sometimes you would have already picked out one particular focus area. You will be having one particular question that you will be wanting to address, and then you will be doing your research into that particular question. You may end up finding out that that particular question have already been answered, so your whole probably what you have collected so far becomes a moot point. You might like have to start all over again. All that can happen, but just because of that, don't give up. Okay, keep working on it. From somewhere, that is where you will figure out your research gap. So that at that point is where your research gap becomes a kind of a major factor. You will be using your research gap to bridge whatever is not covered up. So that one, and then you will also be talking about mm, changing your focus area. So you are working on one particular focus area, and then what happens is you talk to your technical advisor or you talk to some other person. So they will tell you that okay, fine, they are not interested in this particular field. There is no scope for this. So in those cases, what you can do is you can change your focus area. You don't jump completely out of it. What you will do is you will narrow it down to one particular factor and use that as your main basis. And then another thing is, whenever you have a doubt about something, write it down. Okay, you may forget it later, so always write it down, and you can address that with whoever you're talking to the next time. You can address that with your guide. You can address that with your technical expert. You can even address that with your own classmates. Okay. Next will be doing the work that is your main part. You will be compiling everything together, but whatever you compile together, please keep that in a clean and easy to understand format. Don't clog up all your sheets with just a write up and paragraphs. All right. If, as much as possible, put a lot of diagrams and pictorial images to explain what is being done, to explain what you have collected. You can use flowcharts, you can use what do you call them? Tabular columns, any other kind of a graphical representation. Okay, and as much as possible, try to avoid lengthy write-ups. Okay, and then moving to your this design factor. Once you start designing, what you will be doing is whatever you have covered up in your research, it will have to be put into your design. Your, your focus research or your literature study, all this cannot be a separate factor. Your design cannot be a separate factor. You will be designing itself or whatever standards you will be using for design itself, you will be using from your literature study. You will be using from your case studies. And your thrust area, I mentioned this point before also, your thrust area really needs to be incorporated into every single aspect of your design. And if you're using different categories in your thrust area, each of those have to be given equal importance. Okay, and then why as you're doing set up milestones for yourself. Okay, at every single milestone, take a break and check if all your factors have been covered up. Check if whatever is needed for that particular review has been covered up. So, like for example, your first review has what do you have for your first review? You have your literature, you have your focus, you have trust area, you will have your case studies, then you will have your architectural layout, and you will have a concept. Do you have a concept? Concept is covered for the first review, ma'am. Concept is covered for the first review. Okay. Concept work. Okay, in concept it will be there. So now what you will do is you can split apart your study part as one. You can split apart your site and your architectural part and your concept as another. So once you finish your all your case studies and once you finish all your literature and thrust area, that becomes one milestone. You take a break at that point, look back into the whole thing, summarize the whole thing, see if what knowledge you are gaining from that. And then once you start your uh, architectural part, once you start your concept, there you will be like using whatever you have done from your first milestone. So there, once you have a summary ready in hand, it will be easy for you to bring out that particular factors into your concept. Okay, and then presenting and reviewing. See, yeah, while you're presenting, it will so happen that you'll have spent a lot of time working, and yet you will still need to rework. In those cases where you're presenting and your external tells you like, okay, this is not possible, this is all is not going to happen. In those cases, defend your thesis as much as possible. See, then doing something, you have already done a lot of research on your focus area. You have done, and for those of you who are continuing from your dissertation, in fact, you would have even wider knowledge of your focus area. So you will know better on what you are doing and what you have done. So when somebody is telling you something else, like no, this is not possible, or somebody is asking how this is possible, how you can explain. And but when somebody is saying not possible, try as much as possible to explain how it is possible and how you can achieve it, why it is possible, why you will be able to achieve it. But just because of that, please don't end up having a fight with your external, all right? And once whatever he says also should be incorporated. Please take into whatever he's saying also into consideration. Use that also for your mm, use that also for your design. Use that also for your next when you're presenting it for the next review. At least see to it that whatever has been said for your previous review has been addressed. You can address them either like by changing your design, changing that particular aspect of whatever they said, or what you can do is use the same thing, but maybe you can add something else to defend that particular point you would have mentioned. So you will have to keep working, and reworking. This is one thing you cannot escape. And yeah, get comfortable with presenting. You will be doing a lot of presentations. You'll be presenting to your internals, then you'll be presenting to your externals. For those of you who have like a stage fright, or those of you who are like not comfortable with presenting, or those of you who are what do you say, who talk softly or something, please start getting comfortable with presenting. You can use your guides itself for this also. You can use them as a sounding board. You can keep updating your progress to them. So while you are updating your progress to them itself, you can do a kind of in a presentation format. That is, your sheet need not be all ready, your PowerPoint need not be all ready, but the way you explain that, at least you can cover up in that. Okay. Another thing is, uh, you will have to make sure that things don't become dull during your presentation. While you're presenting, if you feel like things are becoming too quiet or nobody is saying anything, there is no response, you will have to speak up. You will have to ask out. You will have to ask, say, if you are presenting to your external and you notice that there is no response from him or he is not saying anything, you ask him directly whether he was able to follow what he was saying. You ask him whether he has any particular suggestion in mind. Keep them involved. Okay. And then also, please don't wait until the last moment to ask for help. As you are going, if you feel like you're getting stuck somewhere, if you feel like you're not able to decide on what you are doing, ask for help, okay? We are there to help you out. And then finally, for your conclusion, see, one of the main thing people miss out the most in thesis is conclusion. Though most of you will be like a conclusion will be just one haphazard work you will where you will just like pen down one line saying this is what you are presenting or this is what you have done for your design. That kind of conclusion will not work. The thing is how you are learning from others thesis work, how you are learning from others dissertation. There will be others who will be using yours for getting ideas. They will also be using your thesis for their research. So please make sure that whatever you are putting, whatever you are concluding, your final report has a proper format, has all the information that you have collected, has all the information on where you got your information from also, okay? That is what the citations are. That citations is very important. If you leave out your citations, it will mean you are plagiarizing somebody else's work. So that's another thing you need to keep in mind when you are taking information from some other source. When you're using it as it is, make sure you take down the web link or the name of the book or the author, and when your final appendix or your bibliography, you mentioned where you have taken that information from. If that is not mentioned, your work will become plagiarized. Okay, so make sure that doesn't happen. And then don't forget to add your 2 cents. That is to say, don't forget to write what you understood from your thesis. Don't forget to point out what you think can work for future research. If this particular will help you for your further for those of you who want to go for your PhD, for that you can use this future research part. You can write down whichever part you have not covered up, all your limitations, you can put under your future research. All those things that you have not covered up will be going into your future research. All those you have learned, all those you have understood will fall under your inference. And what else? Collaborative statements. Okay, this is something like you will be telling about kind of like how from your research, how from your focus area, that is your thrust area, from your thrust area, how you ended up with the design, how, and from that, how what all difficulties you are facing while you are present, while you are doing your design, and how you arrived at the final design. All that you will be putting in your conclusion. Okay. Okay, fine. Anything you people want to ask? Anything you want to ask in particular to your design? Hello? Does anybody have any doubts? Do anyone want to ask anything? Even if you don't have anything in mind, even if you don't want to ask anything, just say no.
As of now, no, ma'am. If we have any, we'll surely ask, ma'am.
Then get you come again.
As of now, no, ma'am. If we
Okay, fine.
do need, yeah, we'll let you know.
Okay, and one more thing I would like to tell you people, for your thesis, for whatever you've chosen for your focus area, please make sure that you incorporate that into every single of your design space. You cannot, if you're having different categories of design focus, you cannot use one category for each space. You have to make sure that each of your space has all the categories in them. Okay, and focus more on your case studies for this particular review, more for your case studies and for your one more thing. Mm, if any of you are doing a site analysis, that and the architectural part, these three is very important for your first review. Literature is okay, but case studies is more important. And your inferences for your comparatives is also very important. Okay, and okay, that's it. Okay, people can continue with your design. You can stop recording. But it is being recorded.